Good morning, LYFER Tribe. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another video, Living Life with Stay Hall.
Sometimes someone was bad for me. Sometimes someone was bad, oh can't you see? I'm just being weak. I think you know that I care for you. I think you know that I care for you, I do. But sometimes I can't be there for me. Sometimes I can't be there, baby, can't you see?
To share that part of my life with you, and every time I share this story, it gets a little easier. Good morning, LYFER Tribe. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another video, Living Life with Stay Hall. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is so wonderful to have you here on this beautiful Saturday morning. And if you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can become a permanent member of the LYFER Tribe. And then go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you never miss any content. So, like I said, it's Saturday morning, and it is early Saturday morning. It's like 7:31, and I am headed to a 5K walk run for a cause that is very, very, very important to me. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be going a little deeper than I ever have here on YouTube and sharing a part of my personal story that I don't think I've ever shared with you guys before. So the walk run that I'm going on now is sponsored by Purple Light Touch, which is a massage therapy that's actually therapy that is not just for your body, it is for your mind and soul as well. And it caters to women and children who have suffered from domestic violence abuse. And so I am going in support of that cause, and I'll just be sharing a little bit more with y'all throughout the day. So let me head over so that I'm not late for registration, and I'll get back with y'all when I get to the park. So I have made it to the park. You see everybody up there with their purple t-shirts on. I'm still kind of far, but I didn't want to be talking all in everybody's face. But yeah, it's a beautiful park out here. Chisholm Park. I think this is like Hearst, North Richland Hills, something. Y'all know I'm directionally challenged, so I really don't know for sure what city, but it is in this like mid-cities area. But a nice park. I mean, like I saw people fishing. There are people out running, walking, kids already out playing, and it is 8 o'clock in the morning. So I am here, and I'll check back with y'all in a little bit, but looks like we have a pretty good turnout.
This walk is for everyone who's struggling right now. Those that are not here, those who are struggling in silence. It's called Run, Walk and Support because as a child, if you as a child do not get a healing as a child, you'll walk into a domestic violence relationship.
It's not very far. We're gonna walk it with you. All right, cool. Y'all ready? Remember, follow the arrows, y'all, and just be safe. All right, y'all ready? We're gonna do this little thing here. Y'all ready to go? Here we go. Let's go!
All right, y'all, we are walking. Look at all the purple behind me. Everyone is having a great time. We have some people who are running. Next year, I'll be ready to run. Y'all know when I first started this YouTube channel, I was running for my life, literally training for a marathon. So this is getting me back in that spirit, but it's just nice to be amongst the people again in the trails. It is a brisk, cool morning. But yeah, it's fun. So, and when you're doing it for a good cause, that makes it even more funner.
I've been trying my best not to think about you, but you're stuck in my mind. I've been hypnotized by you. Hey, all the suffering and pain got me feeling so blue. Cause when it was us, I was never enough.
Because I am a certified mediator for people in domestic violence situations. So imagine what that's like, being a mediator, trying to mediate the victim and the perpetrator. I've done that. As I serve families that are dealing with divorce, child custody, child support issues, they're fighting over this child
they're fighting over the bride's great-grandmother's tea set.
All right, y'all, so the walk is over and I survived. And I did pretty good, so I'm excited. I'm headed back to the car. We just had some awesome speakers at the end who just kind of shared their experience with domestic violence and their survival stories. One of them was actually a father who experienced domestic violence through his daughter and grandson being killed and, by her husband. And just domestic violence doesn't just affect the actual victim of the violence, it affects entire families. And so, I'm going to head back to the house now and kind of get ready to share a little bit of my story with you guys.
I've been trying my best not to think about you, but you're stuck in my mind. I've been hypnotized by you. Hey, all the suffering and pain got me feeling so blue. 'Cause when it was us, I was never enough. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, pushing me down instead of pulling me up. So tell me what I'm supposed to do just to be alright. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, yeah.
So on my way home, I decided to go ahead and stop at Sam's Club. Y'all know I usually try to come in here with Wallace because of his vehicle. It can support more than mine, and he's better at packing the things, but I was out and about, and he wasn't available, so I'm in here. But y'all, the pineapple spears, I had to pass them up today. I still have a couple at home, but those things are so good. And my sister finally tried them, I guess yesterday, and she texted me and was like, those pineapple spears are really good. I mean, they are soaked in coconut water, but I just checked and the carbs are way too high. And I'm really trying to be serious, about this weight loss and health journey for the next 2 months so I can reach my goal for my birthday. But dang, I mean, they were like 24 grams of carbs each and only 1 gram of fiber, so that's like 23 grams of carbs. And like I said, I still have a couple at home, so I didn't need a whole new jar. But I'm doing good, y'all. I only have some food. I didn't even go through their little clothing section because, I told y'all don't sleep on Sam's because they do have some cute clothes, name brand stuff like Nine West, Anne Klein, The Gap. But I just bypassed it because I have willpower, and I have goals, and I'm doing purging, so I don't need to be bringing new clothing items into the house. And something else I wanted to share with y'all real quick that was crazy. I went through my son's room yesterday to kind of straighten up, or his old room that we've turned into an exercise room, but he still had some clothing items in there, and I was kind of going through and texting him some things to see if he still wanted them. And how about his closet is just as bad as mine as far as things with tags on them. But guess what? It's still my money. Like so many things I had just bought him for Christmas and whatever, still in the packaging, still with the tags on it. Who was heated about it was me. And so I texted him, and he had the nerve to say, oh, is that mine? So he had forgotten I had even given it to him. So I'm going to give the stuff to my little nephew, who is still a teenager and will appreciate them. Because this boy didn't even remember the stuff was his. So I'm like, not only do I buy too much for me, I buy too much for them as well. So we all gonna purge. But anyway, I'm headed out. Just wanted to touch base with y'all, let y'all know about this willpower that your girl's sticking to it with the shopping and with the diet and exercise. So, and how can I buy pineapple spears or anything that's bad for me and I just finished a 5K? Like, that wouldn't even make sense. So yeah, we're headed out. I already scanned everything, so I'm gonna scan and go. I made it back home from Sam's Club, and when I got here, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get into the house because I have recently been reminding Wallace whenever he leaves and leaves me in the house to lock the door in the garage that leads into the laundry room that leads into the house. And so normally when he leaves in the mornings, I'm here. And so now he is really in the habit of locking that door. And so when I got home, I'm like, dang, the door's locked. I'm not going to be able to get in because your girl did not have a key to her own house for the longest. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. But I did remember that a few months ago. He put a key on my key ring, so crisis averted. But my first thing was, I got to call him. He got to come home. I can't get in the house. So I was able to get in the house. So I just wanted to let y'all know in case you were worried about me. But I don't know how you could be worried about me because you didn't even know. But I'm in. Anyway, just wanted to show y'all real quick before we sit down and have a serious chit chat. Just wanted to show y'all the few things that I picked up in Sam's because I need y'all to be proud of me. Like, I only got the basics, the necessities. I mean, kind of, sort of. Like, everybody's necessities are different. I only got my necessities, so I'm doing good. So I picked up this beautiful bouquet, and I don't normally do the pinks, but this is a special breast cancer awareness. It says Race for the Cure bouquet, and it came with a little satin pink ribbon. So I'm excited. Like I said, this is out of the norm for me, but they were just so beautiful. And I think they were only like $12.48, something like that. But this is a beautiful bouquet. I can't wait to put that together. And I'll be sure to insert a clip to show y'all how it is. So this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So then I also got my mixed nuts, which I have not gotten these. Can y'all see these? I haven't gotten these in a long time. But again, on my journey, being serious. And these are really healthy snacks, low carbs. You have your almonds, your pecans, just everything. I think macadamia, everything is in here, but it's nice just to grab a little, cup of these whenever you're craving a salty snack. And these are with sea salt as well, and they're roasted. So got these. Got myself some rotisserie seasoned chicken breast, just like for a snack or, a sandwich. And then I also got some honey roasted turkey breast. I showed y'all this in a haul not too long ago, and I didn't know there was honey roasted turkey, but as y'all can see, I'm buying another one because it's so good, and it does taste like ham. And I love ham, but I'm trying to cut out the pork, trying to keep the blood pressure regulated. But this is a much healthier, lower sodium, good alternative. But the honey roasted turkey breast at Sam's are really good. And then I picked up this Pitmaster seasoned pulled chicken. So this is probably what we're going to eat today because Wallace said he was in the mood for some barbecue. And so this is just pulled chicken. It is smoked. But again, very healthy, only 80 calories and only 2 grams of carbs. And then I have some sugar-free barbecue sauce. Let me show y'all that. Hold on. So this is the sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's by G. Hughes. And I think I just got, original flavor, but it comes like in the hickory and all of that. And so this is only 10 calories and only 2 grams of carbs. So there are really good, flavorful, healthy alternatives. And I get this at Walmart. I never see it at Sam's, but I do get it at Walmart. So we're going to do that. And then y'all know I showed you in the last vlog those keto buns. So Wallace will probably do his on the buns, and I'm just going to do mine on the bread and make more of a sandwich type of thing because I'm probably going to grill my bread with some butter. But got some keto bread, and this is a different brand than I get at Walmart. This is what is it, Arrow Eat, but they're a bread company. They make all different kinds of bread, not just the keto. But yeah, so that's the stuff that I got at Sam's, and that's it, y'all. And my water, but I'm not going to bother to get the case of water. Y'all know I always get my alkaline pH balanced water at Sam's Club. So that's all I got. And so I'm doing good, y'all. I'm sticking to this. We're still going to do some hauls. I'm still going to buy some things, but they're not going to be as clothing and jewelry heavy as they have been in the past. Now, again, I can't say I'm not going to buy a thing, but I've really noticed the overspending, the overbuying just too much stuff. And when I went through my son's room last night and noticed that I'm doing the same thing with him, because I can't even blame him because he didn't buy the stuff. I did. And I didn't even ask him if he wanted it. And so that's what I was telling Wallace last night. You know, Nunny Butters, as I call him, Ian is the baby of the family, but he's getting older. He's an adult. He will be 21 in March. And I am going to stop buying him things just because I like them and I think it would look nice on him, because he has developed his own style, his own taste. And so I can't force him to wear stuff, and I don't want to force him to wear stuff. And he is just like a creature of habit. He likes the same things. He'll wear them over and over again, and he's way more into tennis shoes, sneakers than he is clothes. He has his favorite pieces, but really it's the footwear for him. So I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna, if he asks for something, if I can get it, I will. And then for like birthdays and Christmas, I'm just gonna do cash because it makes more sense. And I am a gift giver. That's like my love language. I like to buy things for people. But if they don't want them and they're not going to use them, then it's really a waste. And you end up with, like I did last night, going through his things and finding tons of stuff with the tag still on it. And so thank goodness, you know, I can give it to my nephew and it won't, you know, go to waste or whatever. But still, it just made me realize it's too much. So this has really been a week of purging, because everywhere I turn, I'm like, I did it again. So, oops, I did it. Y'all remember that song, Britney Spears? But anyway, so I am about to put this stuff away, make myself some coffee, and then as promised, before we end this daily vlog, I'm going to sit down and just chit chat with you guys for a few minutes about my own personal journey with domestic violence and yeah, see where that goes. So I will see y'all after I get some coffee in my system and get this stuff put away. So y'all, with this being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, with me doing the 5K run walk today, I thought it was only fitting for this to be the video where I share my story and my, I guess, experience with domestic violence in my life. And I have on my Stop Domestic Violence t-shirt with Queen Vengeance. Love this, kind of giving me Wakanda Forever vibes. But yeah, I just figured it's time to share, and that's what I do. And I've shared this story several times at different women's conferences with a few of my life coaching clients. So it's not anything that I'm ashamed or embarrassed of. It just hasn't been the time. Didn't quite fit in with a lot of my videos and vlogs here on YouTube, but today's the day. So fortunately, my story is in my past, like many moons ago, almost 30 years ago, but I still carry it with me, not necessarily as something that still hurts me or haunts me or gives me anxiety, but I share it with me as my story, as my truth, and as a way to help other women and men and children who are going through some of the same things that I went through. So back when I was in my early 20s, I was with a guy who I just thought was just so handsome, very shy, and just kind of mysterious. And he was very into me. And so what I learned, and y'all know how I do, I'm going to jump all around, but what I learned is, because I didn't grow up with a lot of positive affirmations, a lot of doting on me, a lot of "you're so beautiful, I love you so much," I was really attracted to people who gave me that. And he did. He just seemed like he was just enamored with my beauty and just thought that I was the most beautiful and smartest woman. I was a woman, I was grown, that he had ever met. And he was about 3 years, 2.5 years younger than me. And so he also really seemed to look up to me and just think that I was just the best. And so that attracted me to him because I hadn't gotten a lot of that. As I've shared with y'all before, and not in great detail, and maybe we will, take some deeper dives into who Stay really is. But I struggle with feeling like the ugly duckling, not feeling very attractive. And so to have someone just on a daily basis tell me I was beautiful, it just really attracted me. And I say all that to say that during these times, I still saw signs. The signs weren't with me because he was so into me, and I didn't realize that he was too into me to the point of obsession because I enjoyed the attention so much. But what I would notice is how he would lash out at other people, and he seemed to be so angry. And anytime a guy would even speak to me, because we met in college, so if he would see another guy speak to me, he was always questioning, what does he want? Why is he so friendly? How do you know him? And of course, I'm just like, oh my gosh, he just loves me so much. There were a couple of times where, I was around other guys and he would actually confront them. And again, these are all warning signs. But when you're dealing with two people who are dealing with mental issues, who feel abandoned or rejected in some part of their life, it's like those things attract you to one another. So here he is, my protector. He's so jealous and he just loves me so much. But I didn't realize that one day I was going to be that victim. He had road rage issues and so many things I just dismissed and looked at like he's a tough guy, he's going to have my back. But that wasn't at all true. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew it the whole time. But I'm getting this attention and he just loves me so much. And how am I going to let that go? And so as time went on, things really didn't change, but it wasn't until we were actually in a committed relationship and living in the same apartment together that I saw a whole different person towards me. Once he got me in that apartment, it was like, I got you. You're mine now. And he was very, very controlling about who I talked to, where I went, who my friends were, what I wore. And me being the strong person that I am, I never really conceded to his demands. I would talk back, so to speak. Like, I can go wherever I want to go. These are my friends. Like, I knew them before I met you. I can wear whatever I want to wear. And so I stood up for myself all the time, but inside I was still afraid because I'm like, I've never experienced anything like this before. And he's almost like a completely different person. I mean, y'all, he started to even look different. It's just like, who are you? But again, I'm a tough girl. I'm not going to let you punk me. I'm going to do what I want to do. But each time things would get more and more aggressive. And so it wasn't physical in the very beginning, but it went from trying to control me to getting so angry that he couldn't control me. He would start to threaten me. Well, if you do this, you're not going to want to come back here because I'm going to be ready for you. And, if you are with such and such a person, then I'm going to whoop their behind when I see you. And so it got to the point where he started stalking me, following me everywhere, showing up to my job to the point where my job actually ended up having security sit outside of my office. And of course, I did end up, trying to move out, but he would make the lives miserable of my friends who I would move in with. And I ended up going back and I would be like, I'm not afraid because at this point he hasn't put his hands on me. And so I feel like it's coming, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. And I'm just so confused. And my friends are starting to get involved. He got in a couple of fights with male friends that I had for my entire life. And thank God they were there for me, stood up for me. But it was just getting to be so chaotic until one night, everything just exploded. It was the night before Thanksgiving. And I was preparing Thanksgiving dinner, trying to get the apartment together. My parents were going to come by for the first time. They had never been to the house before, to the apartment. And I just kind of wanted to make everything as nice as I could. And he was playing video games, didn't want to be involved in the prep. And I was getting frustrated. And so I was like, look, my mom is coming over for the first time. My dad's coming over for the first time. I want everything to be nice because, of course, I'm in my early 20s. You know, the apartment was just, It was actually a duplex in the hood, you know, so I'm trying to do everything that I can to make this presentable so it doesn't look like your daughter is like, really, what are you doing? You're living like not the way you were raised. So he makes the comment, I'm not helping you with anything because your mom is a bitch. And so I turned around and looked at him and said, your mom's a bitch. Excuse my language, y'all, but that's what was said. And it's really not even a curse word because you can say it on TV. But that's what I said. Why did I say that? It was like the moment those words flew out of my mouth and hit his ear, he was enraged. Now, you can talk about my mama, but I can't say nothing about your mama. So before I knew it, this man jumps on me, throws me against the wall. I'm trying to fight back, but he is literally not hitting me, but just every time he threw me against something, he would grab me and throw me against something else. And so I'm trying to fight, I'm hitting, and it's not really fazing him at all. And he finally ends up throwing me to the ground, getting on top of me, putting his hands around my neck, and literally choking the life out of me. I'm fighting. I'm hitting as hard as I can. I'm scratching. And y'all know I'm a fighter. I'm fighting. But there is nothing like the feeling of literally feeling the life leaving your body. And luckily, my mind clicked. And I said, the harder I fight, the tighter he's squeezing. And the tighter he squeezes, the more air I'm losing. And the more I fight, that is just going to speed that process up because I'm exerting too much energy. I have to just stop. And so I tried to slow my breathing. I calmed down and I literally laid there and pretended that I was dead. And I know y'all have seen that story on many crime investigation series, on every Lifetime movie. But here's coming from Stay Hall to my LYFER Tribe, letting you know I experienced it firsthand, where my only defense was to pretend that I was dead. And so after a few moments, he realizes she's not moving, she's not fighting, and so he started to panic. And he lets me go, and he gets up, and he's like pacing the room, and I don't really know what he's doing. I can't see him. I'm just like, oh my gosh, is he gonna go get a knife, like to finish me off? What's gonna happen? But again, I was too afraid to move because I figured as soon as he sees that he hasn't killed me, this is all gonna start again, because this was our first physical altercation. So I have no idea what to do, what to think. And so I just laid there. And then he leans down to check to see if I'm breathing and puts his face against my face. And I was too afraid to continue to pretend. So, because I didn't know, is he going to feel me breathing? So I'm on the ground and there's a chair next to me that's kind of been knocked over, and I was able to muster the strength and the speed to be able to quickly grab that chair, reach it over my body, and just commence to beating the crap out of him. And so as I'm hitting him, I'm moving towards the door. I'm screaming for the neighbors. He has ripped just about all of my clothes on, so I'm just in my underclothes, but I got him dazed enough and on the floor where I was able to get out. So I get out, call the police. He ends up taking off, ends up in some sort of chase. I mean, just all kinds of crazy, bizarre, like only see on the movies type of thing. But the crazy part about it is the police were questioning me and ended up taking me downtown because he had the marks and the scratches and everything on him. And I didn't have a lot of marks because, like I said, he had just been throwing me around, threw me on the ground, and tried to choke me to death. And so I get downtown. It's the middle of the night. It's night court. the judge talks to me and he's just trying to chalk it up as to even Steven domestic violence. He isn't even there at the court. And I'm just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening to me. And the judge is like, well, you don't have any marks. And the police said that he was all scratched up. So, you know, you guys just have to separate, but I'm not going to give you a protection from abuse. Like, I'm not going to do anything. We're not going to arrest him. And so when the judge goes back into his chambers, there's no one else in the court except for me, the bailiff, and the judge. Well, the judge goes back to his chambers to write up whatever paperwork. And next thing you know, here comes this guy into the courtroom. The bailiff had walked over to the side and you really couldn't see him, so the courtroom appears to be empty. So when he comes into the courtroom, he sits, and the court had like church pews in it. And he sits behind me and he starts saying, as soon as you get out of here, I'm going to kill you. I can't believe you called the police on me. I cannot believe you told the neighbors that I tried to kill you. But it's going to happen tonight as soon as you get out of here. And luckily, the bailiff overheard him and went and told the judge. And he was arrested and charged with domestic violence and terroristic threats. And so I had to come back to court the next morning to do the paperwork, to get my protection from abuse order. And even though I didn't have any marks that night, the next morning, all 10 of his fingers were bruised into my neck. It looked like I had hands tattooed on my neck. And just to think that the night before, because I didn't have any marks, he almost went free. And so after that, of course, I decided to move out, but I was afraid to just move. And he kind of, once he was bailed out, went into that, oh, baby, please, it'll never happen again, and all of that. So I knew we kind of had a honeymoon phase. And so I just kind of planned it. And so I stayed there a little while, and I bought myself my own car. I found a place to stay, did the things that I needed to do. And then my uncles came to move me out of my house. And he was at school or at work, or I think he had both that day. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to have a long time today. So if y'all can get up here like this time and we can be done, because I didn't want him to see that I was moving out. And when my uncles came to move me out and they're taking everything out of the house, they found weapons planted everywhere throughout my home. They found machetes. They found a blowgun. They found different types of knives, like behind the bed, under the bed, in the basement. And they just collected all of them. And do you know that this guy had the nerve to go and ask my uncles after the fact if he could have his weapons back? And they're like, hell no, you can't have them back. Like, it was so crazy. And he ended up, as one of my uncles who has since passed away was putting the last lamp on the truck, he ended up pulling up like, what's going on? What's going on? And they were just incensed. They're like, what do you think is going on? You know what you did, and you're lucky, you know, we're not doing the same thing to you. You need to just back up. She's leaving. And as we were leaving, he ends up following us, and he's like, I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. But yeah, that was that story. And it was just something that changed my life. But not necessarily in the way that you would think. I was okay afterwards. You know, I probably should have went to therapy or whatever. But again, you know, this was back in the 90s. I was young, didn't really have those resources, or didn't really know. But it definitely changed the way I thought about myself. And it let me know at that moment that I needed to value myself more, and that I was worth more than just some empty compliments, and that whatever it was that I was looking for as far as that type of attention, that I can give it to myself until I found someone who can truly love me for who I am and doesn't have this other agenda or doesn't feel like they own me. And that's kind of when my journey began. But then there were still some hiccups along the way. And as I write in my book, It wasn't until I was about 45 where I truly was able to love myself, flaws and all, because even that situation was something that hindered me, because even though I learned better and I did better and I required a little more from others, I still felt stupid for even going down that road. I was ashamed and embarrassed that I had even let that happen to myself. So I didn't share my story with anyone for a long time. And I just tried to hide that part of my life. So just that in and of itself let me know that there was still work to do. But I survived. I did the work. It didn't happen overnight. But I finally was able to forgive myself. I was finally able to tuck that away and put it in the past to where it no longer affects my daily life and my way of thinking. It is now just a tool for me to help other people. And that's why I decided to share the story with you guys today. And so I hope that something I said has been able to maybe free someone else. If you've been through that situation and you've been struggling with your self-love and forgiving yourself, I hope that I've been able to give you the courage and the insight to go ahead and do that. If you have not already reached out for therapy or counseling, go ahead and do that. And if you know someone, a family member, a friend, even a coworker who seems to maybe be struggling with some of the same issues, say something. Don't be silent. Just ask the question, are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help? How are things going? Just start a conversation that maybe will allow someone to open up. And if you know for sure that someone is going through the situation, do everything in your power to help give them the courage, the strength, and the resources to get out and let them know that they're not alone. And if there is anything that I can do to help in a situation, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm on all social media at Stay Hall, so you can send me private messages on Instagram or on Facebook. And if there's anything that you would like to share here in the comments, please feel free to do so as well. I want to create a safe space. I want to have healthy dialogue where we can all help one another to get through this journey called life as easily and with as much support as possible. So guys, I just wanted to share that part of my life with you. And every time I share this story, it gets a little easier and easier. The memories are not as vivid anymore. I don't start to shake when I talk about it. I no longer feel like, oh my gosh, I was so stupid. It's life. Things happen. It's just how we recover from them that counts. And then once we recover, it's how we share to help others that count even more. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. As always, I thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you would ever know. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell so that you never miss any content. I want us together to build this LYFER Tribe as a strong, positive group where we can support and love one another through anything. So y'all know the drill. Be kind, love one another, but never stop living your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all in the next one.